Hello and welcome back to another video. So, yes, I took a week off. After GameCube month because kind of needed a break. Kind of needed a break from the channel, needed a break away to just sort of cement my brain in things. So we're back. We have a lot of stuff that I've bought. A lot of gaming pickups over the last couple of months. So yeah, should be exciting. I'll start with this. This is the Lock-On by Sega and Bandai. It's sort of a, let's just call a spade a spade. It's a toy gun with a weird little headpiece that I am not wearing because it looks ridiculous. But I thought the gun was cool, and it has a big fat Sega thing on the side of it, so sure. I'll be honest with you, haven't really played this. I got it out of a, let's call it what it is, a junk shop. I got it out of a junk shop about 3 weeks ago now. Sort of middle of GameCube month, which was nice. But yes, so obviously not relevant to the GameCube, but one of many things I have purchased Sega-wise over the last couple of weeks. So my wife was actually nice enough to get me a copy of Golden Axe for the Mega Drive, which is very cool, including the extremely muscular men and women on the front there, to the point where I'm 99% certain they are permanently covered in oil. But yeah, I've got the original, I've got the second Golden Axe. I've got Golden Axe the Duel. I want to say somewhere in this lot of 1,900 games now. 1,900 games. That I may have Golden Axe Beast Rider. I could be wrong, but yes, I'm sort of. I have a soft spot for Golden Axe. I'm quite looking forward to the new one. I think the new one's going to be really good. But yeah, £6. And then I went back in there a few weeks later. They had another copy with a manual for 30. So I was like, £6, 30. Do the math. Do the math. Right. So, prior to a certain console coming out, and another console that I have acquired, I've been playing a lot of 6th gen stuff. So I was playing a lot of GameCube throughout May, and I also picked up this, which is the Retro Fighters Dreamcast controller. The Retro Fighters GameCube controller might exist, I don't know, but the Dreamcast one is really good. And I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, it revitalized my interest in the Dreamcast. I hate the original Dreamcast controller. It is appalling. Awful. And the biggest part of it, the fucking thumbstick, because it's curved. Even though it's got ridges on it to sort of prevent your thumb from slipping off all the time. Slips off all the time anyway. There's also the fact it turns in the socket that just makes it borderline unusable. So I picked this up, which is a charged controller. You charge that bad boy up, plug it into your, and then plug in a special receiver into the Dreamcast that holds the VMUs, or the visual memory units. Basically the Dreamcast memory card slot. And yeah, well, away you go. It's made playing the Dreamcast a lot more fun. In fact, that was basically all I was playing throughout the first chunk of May. Throughout the first chunk of last month was just Dreamcast. Sort of spurned on by getting a couple of games for it, specifically Crazy Taxi 2, which is pretty good, and Buggy Heat, which is not. No, it's one of those. It's one of those arcade races, and I'm going to be really honest with you, I hate arcade races. I want to run laps, not time limits between gates. Just fuck off. So, to compensate for those two, as much as I liked Crazy Taxi 2, it's really solid, Buggy Heat was not. So I figured I'd pick up about 10 more games off of Repro site, including Sonic Shuffle, because I'm not wasting hundreds of pounds on a Mario Kart clone that, quite frankly, is trash, and unfair, and broken, and just, yeah, so now I own Sonic Shuffle. I'm never going to own the original copy. There's no point. The Dreamcast runs these repro games without any hassle anyway, so... I also picked up most of these, I think apart from three are English translations. So, pop that one down. Yes, you may recall a few months ago I picked up a game, or sort of around Christmas, I picked up something called Blue Dolphin, I think. Blue Dolphin, which was a reproduction game of these arcade games called Atomic Wave, which were built off of the Sega Naomi, I think, which is the Sega Dreamcast. Essentially allowed porting very simply. So they did port another one. For the life of me, can't remember what this game's name is, but that's cool. I have to get a proper case for all of these, to be honest. And I picked up Moho. Now, Moho had a PS1 release. We'll get to PS1. Had a PS1 release, but it also had a Dreamcast one. And the Dreamcast one is a fucking expensive game. A fucking expensive game. It sort of slots in with Cannon Spike as a game that, quite frankly, is not something I would typically be interested in. It's sort of a sports title, racing title, where you play as a robot with a rollerball for legs, which is weird and right up my alley. So bought the repro of the Dreamcast port, but yeah, largely because I don't want to waste hundreds of pounds on a game that's probably shit. It's probably terrible. The rest, on the other hand, are just flat out. Provided I haven't just accidentally put that back in the pile. Which I may have done, but never mind. Are English translations of Japanese games, including Space Channel 5, which is very cool. I've got the original down there. Space Channel 5 Part 2 never came out on Dreamcast in the West, which was a bit of a pity. We've got LOL. I know. We've got LOL Lack of Love, which is a very surreal, fucking weird little game. A unreleased Dreamcast game in the form of Geist Force. I know nothing about this. But to be fair, collectively, these games are about, all 10 are about 36 quid, including free postage. So, and I'm not telling you where I got them. Terrible me. But yes, because that's my little secret. Lost Golem. I had the opportunity to buy Lost Golem about 10 years ago. 10 years ago. It was on Amazon, as were quite a few like original Xbox Japanese releases. But Lost Golem was on there for 25 quid. Amazon used to be really good for just picking up random old retro games for a hell of a lot cheaper. I picked up, what did I pick up? I picked up Skies of Arcadia for 20 quid. I then sold it for 120. I picked up Burning Rangers for 28. 28 quid. And I was like, dude, okay. Because I knew that was going to rocket in price. And you know what? It fucking has. But yeah, I had the opportunity to buy Lost Golem about 10 years ago. I didn't actually end up doing so, just because I didn't have a job. So I unfortunately couldn't. But just to sort of round out the last three, the three I'm probably the most excited about. Napple Tale, which is a sort of strange dreams, Nights into Dreams inspired sort of 2D, 2.5D platformer, which is really cool. Flame Gride. Now, Frame Gride. Frame Gride is a mech-based third-person sort of, well, it's a mech game, rolled in with a dating simulator, which is cool as shit, by the way. That's absolutely fucking awesome. It's just genuinely very cool. And, yeah, wanted that. And finally, Rent-A-Hero. Rent-A-Hero was ported to the Dreamcast and it was ported to the original Xbox. But it was a remake of a SNES game. not a SNES game, like a Sega Mega Drive game, which is pretty cool. They remade it into sort of like weird 3D, and it's bizarre and strange, and the fighting mechanics are out of something like Dark Savior or Virtua Fighter or something to that effect. It literally plays like a fighting game rather than anything else. It's mad. But yeah, I haven't actually got around to playing any of these yet because I've had a lot of other shit that I've bought that I am playing currently. So I'm going to put these there, just out of the way. Eeny, miny, mo. So, Nintendo, yes. Picked up quite a few Nintendo things, including Excite Truck, which is I think as far as I'm aware, not sequel. It's in the same series as Excite Bike. My wife got me Excite Bike 64, I think for Christmas. And it's awesome. It's really good. So I figured, hey, I'll pick up Excite Truck because it looked like fun. Nintendo don't do multiple racing games anymore. They have one out this year. And you know what it is, and I will get to it. But yeah, Excite Truck just looked sort of interesting, so I've grabbed that. I also grabbed, for the Wii, Mushroom Men, which got an 86% out of official Nintendo magazine. I wouldn't be waving that around, South Peak Games, to be brutally honest with you. But yeah, this is just sort of a weird third-person platformer that looked entertaining. Unfortunately, it can only be played with an nunchuck, which, yay, but whatever. 2-player co-op as well, I think. Yeah, cooperative mode. But there are others. There are other Nintendo games. So went out to a city near me yesterday and picked up a few. Rise of the Robots, because get this game was hyped like crazy. Hyped like absolute crazy. And the weirdest part about that, at least to me, is the fact that it got a novel. It got a novel. This got a novel. I owned the novel first. I bought it. It was like £3 off of a charity site. And I thought, yeah, okay, let's pick up Rise of the Robots, because that's awful. It's still got a CX stick on the back of it. Gross. But yeah, Rise of the Robots. Not a good fighting game. Speaking of another fighting game, Clay Fighter. Yeah, I like Clay Fighter. I do. I think I have 63 and a third on the N64. I think, I could be wrong. I am going to get a repro done of Sculptor's Cut, because quite frankly it's just too expensive and not worth it. But yeah, I figured I'd pick up the original on the SNES. I know there's a second one. I'm not sure if it's on SNES or if it's just exclusively on the Mega Drive. But yeah, I've picked up Clay Fighter and I've picked up Rise of the Robots. There are okay, so a big part of yesterday for me was I traded in a bunch of stuff that I just didn't want. Predominantly some Atari games for the Switch, and bought Clay Fighter because I've never played it before. I also picked up 2 other games that I've never really. There are 3 other games, and I'll get to that last one. But I picked up Lode Runner 3D, which I know nothing about. It still has the bloody stick on it. What is wrong with me today? Yeah, picked up Lode Runner 3D, which I don't know anything about, but is now owned by Atari, apparently. Because, sure. And I also picked up something that I have no idea what this is. I think it's a fighting game, but it's called Grasp by Konami. And I haven't even looked into this. The idea is I'm going to bust out the Polymega at some point over the next few weeks, and I've just got stuff to shove in it and give it a go. And I'm kind of hoping Grasp will actually be playable on the N64 module. Fix it, Play Magi. Grief. We'll get to the big fat thing in a minute, but first of all, so I'm not sure if you remember, but a couple of weeks ago I was talking about Nintendo games for the GameCube, shockingly enough, but I brought up that my wife was nice enough to grab me Chibi Robo. So yeah, she also grabbed me the Amiibo, which is pretty wacky, and it's cool. He's cute, and I I do have the Ziplash game on the 3DS, which this is compatible with, but I'm just glad that that little fucker got an amiibo. There's something cute about it. I don't have too many amiibo left I want to get. I do buy them. I am still buying them. I'm not really buying any of the new ones because I don't care. But I still want to pick up a Bayonetta 2 one. And I think there was... I've got Rob. Lucina for Fire Emblem. Maybe Corrin. We'll see. Right, the big Nintendo thing that everybody's talking about. I'm not doing a full video on this. I'm not doing a full video on this console. I'm just going to talk very briefly my thoughts on the Switch 2. Because everybody's talking about the Switch 2. And I'm not one of those channels where I'm going to dive in and talk about the most relevant thing. I'm going to talk about the shit that I'm interested in. And most people who will have watched this video will have seen about 14 different other my thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. Which, cool, good for you. I'm glad that the Nintendo Switch 2 is selling like absolute fucking hotcakes. So yes, I've, believe it or not, never, ever done a console launch day. I haven't, and I've got about 30 plus. I've got about 30 plus consoles. I have never done a console launch. Even the Wii U. The Wii U, I was like, I'm going to wait a year. I'm going to wait a year for some games to come out of it. And I did. PS4, same thing. I waited 5, I think. No, 2017. So yeah, I waited about 4 years. PS5, I waited 3. Polymega, I had to wait 2. That, I waited 1, I think. 1 year. We'll get to that one. Yeah, we didn't get day one. GameCube I didn't get day one. I think I got that like a year after its release. Yeah, so basically, I've never done a console launch, and I thought, hey, what better time than to do this? So we had some money. My wife and I sort of went double Dutch on the Switch 2 between us, which is very nice of her. And what are my thoughts on it? It's a very safe bet. It's a very safe bet from Nintendo. I'm mostly still using the Switch 1 at the moment, but that's mostly to watch YouTube. I haven't really been playing any games on it apart from Killing Time, which got re-released, and I'll get to that in a minute. But the Switch 2, I've got 2 games for currently, because my golden rule when getting a new console is it has to have 5 games on it I'm going to play. Minimum. Preferably 10, but 5 minimum. So, for example, for this, in the Direct, they went out and went, right, there's a new Mario Kart. I was like, awesome. There's a new, re-releasing all of Cyberpunk 2077. Cool. Age of Imprisonment, Donkey Kong Bonanza. We've got, I think there was another one, but I can't remember what it was. A lot of cool, to be fair, Donkey Kong Bonanza and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment really got my attention. They've also announced a Splatoon spin-off game called Raiders. I swear that had been announced already, but whatever. So that's going to be pretty sick. But, yes, what do I think of the 2 games I bought for it? I've played this for about an hour, and yeah, it's a Mario Kart game. It's not my favourite Mario Kart game by any stretch of the imagination, but I've only played it for an hour and I haven't played it with anybody. That's why I wanted this, and it was £75. It's not worth 75 quid. Period. It just isn't. 60 maybe? 75? This is not worth £75. Absolute fucking rip-off. But the console itself is nice. It's a lot bigger than the Switch 1. Which is good. The controllers do just clip to the sides. There's a little bit of free movement, but in general, they are on there tight. You're not running the risk of it snapping, which is good. But in general, the thing that they seem to be mainly pushing with this is the fact that you can use them as a mouse, which, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to be using that because I'd need to be on a flat surface and it just seems like a fucking headache. And secondly, this game chat component where you can plug in a camera and talk to all these people who have Nintendo Switches, all your friends who have Nintendo Switch 2s. Meh. I mean, I can only see that being useful if you're bored and you want to hang out with some friends, but say you don't have enough time, it's just after work, blah, 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 if they lived in different places, whatever, then fine, cool. But to be perfectly honest with you, it's not a mechanic I'm going to be using, so that's completely redundant, and the mouse thing is also completely redundant. It's just basically a Switch 2. It's just a second Switch, and it's good. It runs this astoundingly well, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm already 50. Ooh, scary noises. That's the resident ghost. Yes, this runs extremely well, and I'm already 15 hours into Cyberpunk 2077 again, because I do have the PS5 version, but this had Phantom Liberty DLC on it, and I can play it on the go, so okay. Why not? Yeah. I like Cyberpunk as much as I've always liked Cyberpunk, so it's nice to sort of go back in to the game, because I haven't played it in about a year. Yeah, I first played through it about a year ago. This time I'm doing it properly. I say properly, I haven't done half of the side quests, but I'm sure I will. My wife also got Cyberpunk this year, and she sunk like 80 hours into it. I don't know how she does it. I mean, I'm bored after maybe 40. I'm bored after maybe 40, and I'm like, God, I have to play something else. And I have to jump between different games to not be bored. Which is sort of what I've been doing with Cyberpunk as well. But yeah, it's good. This is probably the best bang for your buck. I got this for 60. Other places were selling it for like 70 quid. It's not worth 70 quid. It is 100% worth 60. Totally. Definitely 100% worth 60. This is not worth £75. It absolutely isn't. And that's kind of it with the Switch too. I'm not buying any other games for it until Donkey Kong Bonanza, because all the other games are these game card things where the game isn't on the card. And I don't know why this is a thing in gaming at the moment. Like, Doom the Dark Ages isn't on the fucking disc. The Great Circle isn't on the fucking disc. So I've just basically written off anything by Bethesda. I'm not buying anything from Bethesda if it's not on the fucking disc. Because when I buy something, when I buy a piece of software, it should be on the fucking disc. So Nintendo can suck my ass on that respect. They can literally burn in hell for that particular business practice. It is asinine and a waste of plastic. It was a waste of plastic when they were releasing like just the empty cases with a code in it. Now they're like, oh yeah, but it's got a card in it. And it's like, yeah, but you could just put the game on the cartridge. No. Ridiculous. So yeah, I've just basically written off anything that's doing that. Anything. I'm not joking. Absolutely anything like that. I've written it off. I'm not interested. I've only got one game like that, and that's Halo Infinite, and it pisses me off on the daily that I own it, because it's so fundamentally against why I collect games, to the point where I have genuinely debated on just getting rid of Halo Infinite permanently. To be perfectly honest with you, I hate that game as it is, so maybe I'll just get rid of it. Yeah, fuck it, let's get rid of Halo Infinite. Moving on. Killing Time. Yes, so I'm a big 3DO fan, as you can see here. I've had a shift around to the games room, so I've moved the 3DO games to here. And Killing Time was a big one for me, so I pre-ordered this back in December from Limited Run. It finally released, and for the first time in a long time, I didn't have anything on the back order from Limited Run. Then, literally 2 days later, I bought Shinobi, which is now hopefully on its way, which would be great. But yes, I'm really excited to play that. I haven't got around to it yet, but I will. So that's good. We've still got like a lot to go through, so I'm going to make this a bit quicker. Scribblenauts Unmasked. Yes, so my sister-in-law went to Australia, which is good. Glad she had a nice time. And this copy of Scribblenauts Unmasked is the only game released in Australia that wasn't released in Europe, which is baffling. It's like, why would you not release Scribblenauts Unmasked in the UK? So getting that over here is like £100. It was 20 in their CEXs, so I just went, hey, can I buy this? You bring it back. She was nice enough to do so. It's really good. Like, honestly, it is really testing my knowledge of DC's more obscure, random fuck-ass characters, like most of the Doom Patrol, which is really nice. I like that. I like that they did their fucking research. I like that... I just like that they did their fucking research. It does play like Scribblenauts Unlimited. It's literally the same thing, but I'm kind of glad of that. It's a good, solid game. So yeah, brilliant. My favourite thing I bought, the Playdate. Now, I bought literally within the span of about 5 days. I had the Switch 2, and I had the Playdate by Panic, and I love this thing. I absolutely love this thing. I have nearly 45 games for it now. Yes, it comes to a 24, so I've bought a lot in the last week I have owned this. But it's just genuinely very charming. I am going to be doing a full review of this in a couple of weeks, just because I think it's worth it. Cool. Anyway, yeah, I think it's worth it. I think it's sort of rekindled a bit of joy in gaming that I've been missing for a little while. So yes, I will talk about the Playdate at a later date. Let's just sort of wrap up with the billion Xbox games I've bought and some of the PS5 stuff. So, don't fall over. You may notice there's a big fat gap in the original Xbox stuff, which a certain line of them is holding up, because this was all removed from there. Basically, I've just been on a huge bender buying original Xbox games, swiftly following on from my Dreamcast one and the GameCube that I've been playing. But yeah, I picked up Tao Feng, which is a exclusive for the original Xbox from the co-creator of Mortal Kombat. I've heard mixed things, and it's got a nice big fat manual in it. And it's also got a coming soon leaflet, and I always love these things because it's like, hey, coming soon from Microsoft. It's like cool back when Microsoft were actually focused on putting games onto their fucking shitty system and not producing crap like they have been for the last 10 years. Last 10 years. Fuck Microsoft. Fuck original Xbox. Fuck Xbox One. Basically. Fuck Xbox One. You know that. You know. If you've seen my Xbox One sucks video, you'll know how much I dislike that system. Supercross. Oh no. Not Supercross. Idiot. SX Superstar. Now, I'm a big fan of the odd bike game. Predominantly Jeremy McGrath's Supercross World on the GameCube. I'm sort of hoping to find something similar to that. This one's okay. It's sort of a cheap Acclaim title that isn't amazing, because Acclaim did have some good stuff. Like basically anything Iguana Entertainment pumped out was pretty solid, unless it was Turok Evolution. But yeah, I also picked up Commando's Strike Force, which is I think it's a tactical shooter by the look of things, which is pretty cool. Massive open environments, sabotage, blah blah blah. Sounds really cool. Haven't got around to playing it yet. Furious Karting by Atari. God, this game is shit. It's shit. It is absolutely fucking shit. It is terrible. But it's an original Xbox exclusive, so I couldn't really complain. It's bad. It's a bad game. It's just, period, bad. Bad. Tenchu! Return from Darkness. Yes, why do I own this? To be perfectly honest with you, there's a co-op mode, and it seems interesting. Is this FromSoft? I think this is FromSoft. Maybe. Yes, this might be FromSoft, but published by Activision. Again, back when Activision were actually publishing games and weren't just an endless Call of Duty farm. I 6th gen games, they're just... Soldier of Fortune 2. Yes, so, after watching Mr. Civi's video on the original Soldier of Fortune, I figured I'd pick up this. It's more of a tactical shooter than the first game. The first game plays more like Quake. That one plays more like Half-Life 2, which isn't a good thing. Because Half-Life 2's gunplay is fucking terrible. But Soldier of Fortune 2, actually quite good. A lot of fun. I think they did a third one. I think they did a third one, but it wasn't actually, it wasn't Raven. It was somebody else, because that killed the series, which is fine. NBA Jam. Yeah, I mean, I hate most sports titles. That's not a secret. Unless they're like extreme sports titles, like dirt bike racing and snowboarding in particular. But an NBA Jam, yeah, I mean, it's basically the same game from the Mega Drive, but let's be honest, it's weird as shit. You've got big head mode, it's exaggerated and silly in a way that only 6th gen could do. So I'm a big fan of that. Brothers in Arms. Yeah, I mean, it's another World War II shooter. I think this one's, again, a little bit more tactical. I haven't played this yet, but I know that series, again, also sort of died when the 360 launched. MX Superfly, just another racing game. And it's... shit. It's shit. It's not very good, which is a shame. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dawn of Destiny. I'm a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games. This one is not one of them. It really, really, really fucking isn't. It's bad. It's a bad game. By a lot of fucking margins. And it was also very expensive. It was £32. I have debated on taking it back, but... I'll keep it for now. It's the only Xbox game. It's the only Xbox Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, so I figured, why not? I used to like Yu-Gi-Oh! Quite a lot. I used to play... there was a game called... Stay Away to the Destined Duel, I think it was, or Tournament Edition on the original Game Boy Advance, and I used to play the fuck out of that game. I've lost once because I would just turn it off, and I cocked up once, and it pissed me off so much I proceeded to beat the guy 199 times just to compensate. But yeah, Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. Yeah, I mean, I don't own this. I thought it would be fun. So yeah, not a big Monkey Ball guy, but I'm always up for a new 360 game, original Xbox game. 187 Ride or Die. Yeah, it's another bad racing game, to be perfectly honest. Like, I know you've got people like Lawrence Tate and Gorilla Black, whoever the fuck those people are, but yeah, it's bad. It's just not very good. It's not very good. It's not very good. I'm very picky with my racing games. Like Mario Kart World, there's certain bits about it I don't like. It doesn't feel like Double Dash. And I know we're nearly 20 years on from Double Dash. In fact, we're over 20 years on from Double Dash, which is horrifying to think about. But that's where Mario Kart peaked for me. I have Mario Kart 8. It was shit. It was shit. I didn't like it. Maybe that's just because it's the Wii version, but it doesn't feel fast enough. Double Dash does. It felt fast enough, or the physics are slightly different, where I just like it. Ride or Die, on the other hand, is just period bad. Men of Valor. Just another fucking World War II shooter. I haven't played it. We'll get to you, because you're probably my favourite game that I bought recently on the original Xbox. Speed Kings! Another acclaimed bike title. Yeah. Need for Speed Underground 1 and Need for Speed Underground 2. Yeah, I saw Noodle on YouTube. A guy called Noodle did videos on the Need for Speed games, and I have the original, like, Road and Track Need for Speed on the 3DO, so I thought, okay, they're like £2. Why not? And finally, for the original Xbox, we have Red Dead Revolver. Yeah, I love this game. Which is weird, because I really, really didn't like Redemption. I really didn't like Redemption. And I think a big part of it is, this is more arcadey. It's not this massive open, super detailed world. I'm not a big lover of open worlds. They are extremely tedious to get around. And they don't tend to make going through them fun. In fact, the only open world game I legitimately like, is Brutal Legend. But my point is, most of the time, open world games are very badly designed. The fact that this isn't open world and actually is a lot of fun and more arcade style, means I got into it more. Like, I tried to get into Red Dead Redemption. I tried. Everybody was fucking raving about it. And they bring out the supernatural version with the zombie apocalypse. And it all just sucked. It was just so bad to control, and it was boring, and it's just shit. It's the same with GTA. I don't like GTA. I don't like Grand Theft Auto. I didn't mind 3, but I get bored very, very quickly with open world games. They have to have something different. Like, they have to have a structure that benefits having an open world. A very good example is Crackdown 1. So in Crackdown 1, you have 3 separate gangs. All of these gang leaders have different henchmen, and there's sort of like a hierarchy, and you can pick off like the harder to kill ones and leave the lower tier ones and shit like that. Or you can just go straight for the final guy. You won't get very far, but you can do it, and it's about picking apart these and as you kill off the smaller guys, it makes getting to the final guy a lot easier, because I think it disables his defenses or something like that. But it works, right? It works with something like, say, Skyrim. But again, most of the action in Skyrim is inside. It's in the dungeons. It's a more linear affair. And I think most people would agree that 99% of what you're doing in Skyrim, if you're not running around the open world on a horse or just fast traveling fucking everywhere because it's a lot easier, is you're in these linear dungeons. So it kind of defeats the purpose of having an open world environment. I can get into Breath of the Wild. I can get into... I'll do a whole video probably on what I think of open world games and what I think works and what doesn't. But for now, we'll finish up the Xbox section with Naughty Bear. Did I talk about Naughty Bear already? I can't remember. That's how much I don't know with this game. It's Naughty Bear. Let's just pretend I didn't buy that for 10 quid. Moving on. So, I said I was buying just some random games to try on Bodymaker for the first time ever, and Excalibur 2555 popped into my brain. More accurately, it popped into my line of sight. And it's a game that is Arthurian legend in the future, where there's sci-fi and shit, but you're running around with a big sword, and it plays like classic Tomb Raider, so yeah, okay. That's actually what I quite like about the PlayStation 1, is I have very little knowledge of this fucking console's library. So I'm always pleasantly surprised when I run into really weird shit like that. But yeah, while we're on PlayStation, shall we go in order of release date? Yeah, we can. Come on. Road Trip Adventure. Yeah, I saw Peanut Butter Gamer reviewed this. It's interesting. It's a very weird, peculiar racing RPG. So it's a game where you drive around in a car, but you are a car. Like, cars are alive. Cars are alive in this world. And it's an RPG about racing, and it's bizarre, and I thought, fuck it. Racing playing RPG. Okay. I thought, why not? Sounds like fun. My wife was actually nice enough to pick that up for me, just as a present. Thank you, dear. Twisted Metal Head On. It's so hard to find decently priced Twisted Metal games, and I didn't even know this one existed on the PSP. I did pick up a new PSP battery a while ago, so the idea is play it eventually. Get around to playing the PSP again, because I just haven't in like 15 years. It still works. I replaced the battery and it still works. Brand new battery, shouldn't be a problem, works fine. Mad. So yes, I've now got Twisted Metal Head On to have a go on, which will be exciting. Okay, so yes, a while ago I picked, what the hell was it called? Club Drive from Criterion, I think. Whoever the hell made MotorStorm. And they did one final game before they were absorbed into Codemasters and then absorbed into EA, and now they work on shit. Onrush. It looked like fun. It really is. It really is that simple. It looked like fun. Racing games as a genre are kind of dead. It's kind of dead. You don't get half of the fucking racing games that you used to do in the 6th or fucking 7th gen. They were everywhere. Like, there's a new Forza coming out. Holy shit. They've released Forza 5 on the PS5 because they clearly don't care. But as I've said, I have a long-standing grudge with Microsoft and their fucking business practices over the last 15 years. They can die in a hole. So, I mentioned earlier I had a slight tangent rant about not having games on a disc. I made the terrible mistake of buying Indiana Jones and the Golden Circle, or the Great Circle, whatever the fuck it's called. Get home, it's not on the disc. I took that fucking piece of shit back the following day. Got rid of it. I threw it out. I was like, nope. I'm gonna get games that are actually on the disc. So, Spider-Man. Yes, I bought the Spider-Man Insomniac games because I used to be quite big into Spider-Man when I was younger. I still have a soft spot for it. Less so the fucking multiverse crap. I hate multiverse stories, period. But these seem, air quotes, pretty good. So, yeah, despite the fact apparently Spider-Man 2 didn't make a whole lot of profit for them because its budget was just way too big. Modern gaming. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to playing through these at some point. Don't know when. My wife still has the bloody PS5 because she's playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, and yeah, which is good. I think this is the last couple of games. I bought Forspoken. Let's pretend I didn't. Atomfall. Atomfall's the last game we're going to talk about today. Yeah, I bought this because I've been watching Many a True Nerd, John at Many a True Nerd, play through Atomfall, which looks really, really solid, and it's cool. Well, no, he's not been playing through well, he has been playing through Atomfall, but he was playing through Fallout London. And I think Fallout London's release had a lot of people going, British Fallout. That lodged firmly in their mind. So apparently this did really well for Rebellion, which, how the fuck are they still around? Like, the crap they have pumped out over the last, 30, 40 years of their existence, how the fuck are Rebellion still alive? It's weird. When other companies like Pandemic Studios or fucking, what the hell were they called? Anyway, Free Radical, for example, they've all gone under. Rebellion haven't. Madness. It's probably because they make mid-budget titles that aren't overly shit. They made the Sniper series, so and Zombie Army, I believe, and they made this. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to Atomfall. Right, that's it for another week. I've come back with a big 45-minute long video, and I think next week we're probably going to be talking about a bit of an update with me on mental health, and sort of a part playdate video as well. because this has sort of this little thing has actually been quite transformative. It's been quite transformative in my view of recent gaming. But yes, that's it for another week, and I will see you next time.